All right, well, to winterize, we take the house battery here. I usually take it out or put it on a charger, so that trickle charger, so that it doesn't sit there all winter and just go dead. Then the next thing I do to winterize it is I probably just shut the propane off right here. Shut it off. Come to the back here. And we make sure that the water tank is drained. Right here is the drain for the water tank, the freshwater tank. I just leave it open all winter. That small drain here, that makes sure it gets drained. The next thing we do is come to the back here where the pump is. Had a new key made here because it wasn't opening very good, so you can get it open. I'll leave this little hose in here for you. I take the input coming out of the water tank and going into the water pump here. I take it loose, insert this one end of this hose, and I put the other end in a jug of antifreeze, and I go inside and I turn the pump on and I flush it through the hose system. Then I put the hose back on just so it's ready to go for the next year. So that's where you would winterize it. There's your pump. Your water tank's right here. I usually remove the awning, which requires 2 bolts, one on each corner up here on the front. They're about a 1/4 inch bolt, and it does have a spring in it though, so you got to be real careful because that spring will get away from you. So I put a vice grip or something on the roll itself. You don't have to remove it, but if you have a place to put it, it saves it from being out in the sun and everything in the snow. If you have a mouse problem at your place, take necessary precautions to make sure that the mice can't get into it. We've never had a mouse problem with this. Let's go around to the other side real quick too. If you're not using the vent for the stove, always keep it closed. If you do plan on using it, there are two little keepers in here that keep this vent from coming open. There it is open. There's 2 little keepers on each side here that will hold it in place. I just replaced that about a year ago. The other one was cracked, so I replaced it. Also, when you winterize, you need to drain the water heater. The drain plug goes in right here. I've got it pulled right now. It's just laying in here. There's an extra drain plug inside. I'll show you. A brand new drain plug. I bought a couple for it, so I'm going to leave one in there. So that would be the drain for the water heater. When you do put the antifreeze in, you'll want to make sure there's a bypass on the water heater. I'll show you that in a minute too. You want to make sure that that's closed because you do not want to put antifreeze in your water heater. I've got on here the wastewater dumping. The wastewater hose is in here. In the other compartment on the opposite end, in the opposite corner, there's another attachment you put on your wastewater into your hose to dump. You put that in there. You hook it up to your hookup down here. Open up your black water, which is on this side. Go around to the other side. I'll show you in a second, and open up the black water over there. Once that's drained, I usually take and run some water through the toilet and the sink to flush the black water tank, or you can even take and run a hose in there and flush it out even better. Once that's done, I go on the other side and I shut that valve. Then I come over here and shut this one, and then I drain my gray water tank. That kind of cleans out your hose and stuff so you don't have as much washing of your hose to do. Wherever you're dumping, there should be a freshwater supply. I usually take and run fresh water down my hose to rinse it out even better. Right here, in this area right here is where that other shutoff is for the black water tank. So there's 2 shutoffs on the black water tank. Your outside covers and compartments, be real careful if you do look in these, and make sure that they're turned back the way they are so they're locked in, because anything like this comes off and it's real expensive to replace. I've replaced this piece right here just a while back, and it was about $140. So be real careful on those, so that make sure that those are replaced like they should be. We'll go in and we'll take a look at that water heater, that bypass on the water heater I was telling you. Okay, so the bypass on the water heater, you got to kind of crawl on your hands and knees down underneath here. And there's 3 valves. Wish I had a better light, but there's 3 valves on the water heater here, and it's going to be hard to see because I don't have a light in here with me, a better light. But on that back side of the water heater, there'll be 2 valves that are one on top, one on bottom, and one in the middle. So you shut off the one on top and one on bottom and open the one in the middle, and that gives you your hot water bypass. And that will keep water from going to your water heater. So even if you were wanting to maybe use it without running water through the water heater, you could do that. But that is definitely how you'll want to do it when you're winterizing it. There is a 12-volt plug that I put back on the back side of the mattress, back in the bedroom here. And it works good if you're not hooked up to electricity and want to charge your cell phone or something from back here. It would be on this side of the bed, right to the back. So there's a 12-volt plug there. That way you don't have to have the generator running just to charge your cell phone or something. Make sure your top vents are all closed before moving, because there again, those they're about $15, but you don't want to have to replace them if you don't have to. So I would close all of them before you're moving. The outside porch light switch. Sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out where that's at. So as you come in the door, it's just right here. This is your switch for your outside porch light. Always check the tires on the coach before you move it. If they've been sitting for a while and stuff, check the tires. We'll go out there in a minute and I'll show there's 2 valve stems on each one, which is pretty self-explanatory, but make sure you check both of them so you're checking the inside tire too. Sometimes it's not as easy to visually inspect yet. I got a bag here, and in this bag is that other plug for the water heater that I told you about. And there's also a catch for an extra catch in here for the outside for the door, say in case it would break or something. That is also in here. In the bathroom, I did leave a roll of toilet paper, because it does take special toilet paper. You're only supposed to use special stuff, and some stuff that you put down the toilet to keep it from smelling. So at least you got something there to start with. Shower faucets are backwards, hot is on the right. That's pretty, you'll figure that out, but just in case. The rod for the awning. We always kept it here. You can keep it wherever you want, but here's the rod for the awning. It's stored right here. Let's go out. The wind's not blowing too much. We're kind of parked close to the tree, but we can give you kind of a little show of what you do to work the awning. Okay, so you come up front here. There's a little switch right up in here. You're going to flip it in the opposite direction that it is. You make sure these latches here are unlatched on both ends. Make sure they're unlatched on both ends. You must not have the switch flipped over here. Alright. Maybe I'm going the wrong way. When I put this on last year, I put it on a quarter of a turn wrong, and that switch up there is a little harder to flip. Then I got some tree branches here in the way. So you just pull this on down. Get the full awning out like that. You take your slide brackets here, loosen them up. Slide them up here until they click. Okay? You do that on both ends. to get the awning to go up further, have somebody on each end, grab a hold of the handle here, and you'll pull it up. There you go, heavy. Tighten down your brackets. Tighten down these brackets here, tighten them down good. If the wind comes up, put your awning away. It's not worth destroying your awning for have a little wind. So that there is let you roll off on it. So to put it away, you're just going to loosen these brackets. There's a little plastic piece right here that is a keeper, so you just got to push down on it and get that bracket loose. We're going to drop our sides back down to the lowest point. We're going to flip our switch right there, our little lever. Be real careful here so it doesn't get away from you. Just going to roll it up like that. Lock our locks back in place. I usually tighten these knobs back up on the back side just so they don't come loose and fall off. And that's all there is to setting up the awning. I always put this right back to where I had it in there. Like I said, you can put it to wherever you think you might want it. I just put it along the bed there. Like I said, always buy camper toilet paper. It's better on your freshwater tank or your black water tank. It'll decompose better. Make sure the coach is level for the fridge to work properly. Most refrigerators need to be level for them to work properly. So if even when I store it and I have it plugged in and have the fridge going, I always try to get it as level as possible. If the fridge is shut off, try to keep the doors ajar so it doesn't trap moisture inside and get nasty. Fuel additive. When I go ahead and winterize it, I always take and put some Sta-Bil in the gas tank, and I fill the gas tank completely full in the winter. That way no moisture or a limited amount of moisture can get in there, and the Sta-Bil is going to keep the gas in good shape, and so you don't have to worry about, is it going to start and is it going to be gummed up and the gas going to be nasty, and you have 30 gallon or 50 gallon or whatever the tank is of nasty gas in there now. So I always use Sta-Bil. It doesn't cost that much. Let's go outside real quick and I'll show you on those tires the valve stems. Like I said, I'm sure you probably know already, but there's going to be two valve stems. There's going to be one for the back tires right here and one for the front tire right here. So make sure you check both of those, and I usually like to check my tires anytime the coach leaves the property. And I would probably, if I was going very far, I'd probably have a tire pressure checker with me. So that's about it. On the door, the screen door is pretty easy. You just got a latch right there. If you have your screen door closed, always make sure you hook your main door open. Another thing is this bottom lock here. It went bad on us just this last year. I didn't really care for it anyhow. They never did give us a key for this one, so we took this one off this last week after you bought it, and we went and took it down to a locksmith and had him make a couple keys. So you have a couple keys for this. This one here is just actually plugging the hole. If you want to find another lock to put in there, you can. I always liked the idea of, I wish we would have done it a long time ago, just having keys for the main lock here. So you got two new keys for this. They work great. Keys should have keys for the storage compartments. The one key on the storage compartment on the back is going to be different that I showed you. The one that has the water pump and stuff in it, because that one there, we had it rekeyed because it wasn't working right. So we wanted to make sure everything was right for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we have. Just kind of a little information there, and hopefully it'll make your learning curve a little bit shorter.